The first section on your page is the most valuable real estate. Pens out. It is called the above the fold, and it is before somebody starts to scroll. Why is this so valuable? Well, you have a split second. Yes, Dinesh, you can drive organically. I mainly work in paid ads. You have a split second to get somebody's attention. Now, no matter whether it's paid ads or organic, it needs to be congruent. It needs to be congruent with what got the click. That's like one of the biggest mistakes that I see. It also has to match the temperature of traffic, which I'm going to be teaching you about today. So the above the fold, if you're going to play around with your page, focus here. This is the most important part. When we look at the above the fold, we have a few different parts, and I'm going to break it down for you now. And I'm going to spend the most time on this out of all of the sections. The first is our eyebrow. So when we say an eyebrow, we just want to call out the audience. I'll show you some examples in a second. Then we have our headline. Again, we just saw the power of a headline change. We're going to be giving you all of our headline templates throughout this process as well. So the headline is the most important. A very simple way to do your headline is what we do and the about benefit that it is. Then we will typically have a subhead or a few bullets and then one call to action. Overall, with your landing page, it's one product or solution, one target market. That's what we want to do. That's our main thing we want to do. So this is the above the fold. What am I missing? Yep, your image, everything on your page, it needs to have a purpose. Don't just put pretty shit on your page for the sake of it. You can have a video above the fold, but it has to be a good video, right? It's like people are like, oh, should I do video? Like, how long should my video be? Only do video if you're going to put effort into it. Don't just slap something on there. Your bullets are usually the value and the problems, one clear call to action. And then when you think about fixed.
Hey,
Okay.
Alicia, are you
Yeah,
back?
well, guess what? Australia has the worst internet in the world. So that's just where I happen to be to do this right now. Put into the chat again if it goes down. Where did we get up to? Yeah, bad internet. Come to India. Everywhere has good internet except here. Okay. Yeah, thank you. All the Australians know that. Okay, no, India's worse. That makes more sense. Okay, cool. Back into it. This is the above the fold. Let's get down. Basically, here's how it starts to look. You'll have your eyebrow, you'll have your headline, and that's usually integrated with the offer, and you'll have your three bullets and your call to action. The offer is what they get, and the call to action is what they do to get it. Okay, let's look at the next example. So here's one in the wealth management space. Is $1 million enough to retire in Australia in 2025? 3,000 plus Aussies have used the Will I Have Enough index to find out how much they need for a comfortable retirement. Apply for your free retirement consultation today. That's the offer. To discover how you can create a comfortable retirement for you and your family. That's the dream outcome. Apply now for your free consultation. So this is one of the above the folds. This is for Facebook ads traffic. This is also for Facebook ads traffic. With this client, they do granny flats, but granny flats, like no one wants granny flats. So it's say no to ugly, outdated granny flats. Downsize in style and build the perfect, we created this for them, luxury mini home in your own backyard in just 12 weeks. Talk to our team today to discover how you could be living in your custom designed luxury mini home with zero stress in 12 weeks or less. Okay, and if you have any questions on the above the fold, put them into the chat now because this is a very important part. This is another client that's currently live on ads. Spending a fortune on power bills. So you can see here, this is the call out. It's either directly calling out their identity. Are you an Aussie that's about to retire? or it's calling out their problem. In any case, we're looking for the brain to say, yes, yes, that's me. Because we want them to know that they're in the right spot. That's the point of the above the fold. You are in the right spot. Slash your power bills and save up to $847 a year with this free energy saving attic inspection. And this offer is to get people to accept somebody coming into their home and crawling around in their attic. And this is going really, really well at the moment. Okay, I'll go back to the above the folds. Question, the eyebrow, is it supposed to talk directly to the customer, never focused on you? Should it be a question? We normally make it about them and either about their identity or their problem that they're trying to solve. Typically, especially on Google Ads, but this is relevant to any platform, it's congruent with what got the click. So whatever you use to get the click, we're going to mirror it there. Big part of copywriting, which is your favorite part for AI copywriting. Matt will talk about that tomorrow.
I think Krish has a good question. So Alicia, why do we need an offer before they buy, right? So why won't someone just jump on a random call with us, right? So why is it so important to have an offer on the landing page in the first place?
Oh yeah, because nobody cares about you basically, and that's like the harsh reality of it. And they're on this page thinking, so what, who cares, what's in it for me? So what I see a lot of people do is they'll have talk with sales or get a free quote, stuff like that. But and Leanne just asked this, we're going to be talking about the stages of awareness in this training today. People go through these stages of awareness or this buyer's journey, whether we hold their hand or not, right? And what we want to think about is the offer is the next micro step they're going to take. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about this shortly, but basically, somebody can be in problem aware. They know a problem, but they don't know the solution. Solution aware, where they are comparing different alternatives, or they can be in product aware. They know what they want, and now they're assessing different people. I'm going to talk about more of that soon. But to
I,
answer the question, which is why do we need an offer? Because otherwise, no one's going to talk to you.
yeah,
Like
and
that's mainly it.
we need to disguise the sales process as well, right? So people
Mm.
love to buy, but they hate to be sold to. We can't just have, hey, speak with us on sales where you can jump on a call and we're going to hard close you, right? No one is going to want to sign up to something like that. So that's why it's really important to have an offer. It's leading with value just makes it so much easier to get qualified leads excited to speak with you. If you have no offer, you will not get quality leads and you won't have leads excited to speak with you. You want leads to come to your landing page, be like, oh my God, I need to speak with this company. So that's why it's so important to have an offer, guys.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to reply to you, Dave, but with our clients, we don't take them on unless they're going to listen to us. Doesn't make sense. And we don't, because like why would you go to a doctor and then if I tell you to take an aspirin and you want to chop your arm off, like why? I don't want to work in those conditions. So it's just, yeah, we just don't work with them unless they're going to want to work with us. And in our proposal, it says we're not your waitress, we're your strategist. So don't work with us if you want to tell us exactly like what to do all the time. Do we coach your clients on offer creation or just find folks who already know that offer is important? Luckily for us, a lot of our clients come from my YouTube, and I'm happy to talk about that in a future call about why I love it so much as a lead generation channel. And then we have a lot of education in our sales process, our lead gen process as well. So maybe I'll show you guys that on day 3, how we get qualified leads in our own funnels. But basically, like that's something we're screening for, is because I've worked with clients who like it feels like you're trying to run
Yeah.
through a brick wall trying to convince them to do stuff, right? Matt?
Yeah, I think Hunter's question was like, do we coach clients on like offers? No, we create offers for them, right? Like we're the experts in this. We've created 600
Yeah.
plus offers. So yeah, clients come to us to design, get their offer designed, and we build out that offer, build out a landing page, run all the ads and everything like that. So I think let's move on to the lead leash.
Yep, let's move on. Okay, gonna have to power through some of these. The lead then, our first section is our above the fold. The lead is the first thing underneath that. That's all it is. And so you can either have a short lead like this or a long lead. So let's go back to a shorter lead. And again, Matt and I are going to tell you which part goes where and who should use what. But this is the lead. So typically with the lead, what we either do is we get straight into something that looks like this, which is the big 3 outcomes or the big 3 problems that we fix. So we know from this client, this is a B2B lending client. that people have three things on their mind. How much money can I get? How fast can I get it? And what are the rates? So we're just going to keep repeating that message throughout our digital appointment setter. And we're going to use these three sections to talk about and show the three big problems or the three big outcomes we provide. Same for the Linktree page that I did. There's a few more here because tech is a little bit different, but we have a little bit of a story and then here's what's in it for you. This is what we do, etc. Now, when we do Facebook ads, what we find, or let's just call it a colder traffic. It doesn't even have to be Facebook ads, but a colder traffic. What really works for us is story selling and a longer form lead. So for this one, you can see that the lead's headline is how I built a $12,790 a month property portfolio at just 29 years old. There's a lot of reasons why this works. I'm going to just talk about them very quickly until tomorrow. Number one is a proven, repeatable system. In your marketing, wherever you can show that it's proven because it's been done for you, repeatable, you have social proof, that is the winning recipe. Proven, repeatable system. Whenever you can create a proprietary system, which is something that we'll work with you on, you have to have this. And basically, it's very easy to create. It's just how do you get results? 3 to 5 steps, and then give it a cool name. With this client, we called it the domino strategy. And it's cool, it's different. We have to trigger new in their brains because if what you do sounds like something they've already tried and failed with, they're not going to give you money, right? So it has to sound new, it has to sound different to what they've tried before. And then a lot of this will have the plug and plays from the research, the homework I'm going to give you. So there's going to be 2 options for your lead, the long lead, the short lead. Then there's going to be a shitload of social proof throughout the whole page. If you can't get social proof, I have a video on my YouTube of how to get social proof when you have none. You can manufacture it in a lot of different ways, but there's going to be a lot of different sections. We're going to work on that tomorrow as well. A couple of examples. This is like clout jacking. We'll show you this tomorrow. Video testimonials. We'll show you this tomorrow as well. The next section that's typically on our pages is what we call the 5 to 10 reasons why. So you basically just want to summarize why would somebody work with you. Typically, we get this by surveying your past clients and bringing that in, and then they'll tell you exactly why they worked with you. There's lots of different ways we'll show you how we do this, but this just summarizes everything that you do. Here's an example of it for us and our agency, our 5 to 10 reasons why. So some examples are, because I don't know, everyone knows agencies have a bad name and like no one likes working with agencies, right? Not even me. But no lock-in contracts, full transparency and communication. We build your competitive moat, proactive account growth and opportunities. So you're looking for those buyer decision questions. I'll teach you more about this tomorrow. And here's a few more examples. We'll send you these slides later. The next section that we're going to make sure you have is your comparison table. So with your comparison table, what we want to do is know what are your true competitive alternatives, and then what are the buyer decision questions. They go down here, and you have to remember that your true competitive alternatives are not all of your different competitors. Oftentimes, what you're really being compared to are inertia, aka doing nothing, so taking no action, or the old school way of doing things. For example, with us as an agency, we're obviously being compared to other agencies or in-house hiring. That's actually what we compete against the most for the clients we attract. It's okay, should we get an agency or should we hire in-house? That's actually what we're competing against. Here's an example of how that would look. As a quick side note, you'd usually want to have some green ticks on the other side just to make it seem balanced. Who we can help. So why do we have this section? It's because when somebody's on this page is your digital appointment setter, and they're going to be going through this and thinking, okay, but is this for me? Now we just want our digital appointment setter to say, yes, this is for you. So you'll find what is your like main customer avatars or your main archetypes or the main problems you solve, and then you'll pair it with social proof. Again, I'm just inceptioning your brain on this now. Here's a couple of examples on this. So this one is like more archetypes, and this one is more problem-based. The left side is more problem-based. The right side is more archetypes. And then we always pair it with proof. Your next section, and just to recap, if you just made all of these sections into a landing page, nearly in this order, you have a high converting landing page. The next is how it works because there's going to be friction to hit that click, right? So what we want to do is just show them very simply and very clearly with a lot of clarity what happens after you click that button. So as an example for this one, apply for your free Will I Have Enough consultation. So step one is always take the action on the page. Do what I'm telling you to do on the page. The next one is, okay, what value do I get from that? Cool, this is what happens. And then step three can be like, what value do you get out of it? Or what happens next? What's the dream outcome, basically? So here's another example for a hair restoration doctor. 1, apply for your free hair restoration consult. 2, start your treatment plan and stop the hair loss. 3, this is the dream outcome. Get a full, natural looking head of hair again. Now, going back to what I said earlier, marketing's inputs and outputs, garbage in, garbage out. The reason why our pages work is because we spend a lot of time to understand the target market and doing the research. Because all of these words and these questions, like everything that we have in here is in here on purpose because this is the language of the target market. We're talking to them, we're showing them that we understand them. And that's the whole point of this is nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And tomorrow, Matt's going to be going through the problem, agitate, solve. Yes, I understand your problem. Don't go too hardcore on the agitation because then you're just going to whip people up into a negative energy. And that's not the kind of leads you want to be dealing with. And then you say, now you know I understand you. Here's how we can help you. Here's how we're a vehicle from A to B because you don't sell a product or a service. You're just selling entry into a desired after state. So on your landing page, and if you take one thing away from today, this is it, one thing. I understand where you are now. Use their language. Tell them, yes, is this you? Does this sound like you? I understand you. Is this where you want to go? Is this your dream outcome? Future pace them. This is where you want to be. And now they care about what you sell. Now you can position yourself as a vehicle from A to B. What a lot of people get wrong is they just start talking about themselves and what they do, but people tune out, right? Because they only care about themselves. Section 8 is FAQs, pretty self-explanatory. We'll talk more about that as we go. And then finally, for people like me who scroll all the way to the bottom, we do what I call the page full stop. So this is just where you recap everything in here. The page full stop. So you'll have your headline, your points, the call to action. Now, just give me a bit of a vibe check. I feel like I just monologued for a couple of minutes there. Give me a vibe check. Does that kind of make sense? Do you feel like I've inceptioned your brain and you might wake up at 2 a.m. in a cold sweat thinking about comparison tables, but besides that, we're happy? What was section 8? Good question. Go backwards. FAQs.
And yeah, guys, so like at the moment, we've just outlaid like 9 sections, right? So all we need to do is create 9 sections. And part of our homework is going to be collecting all of our inputs. So creating this is going to be super simple tomorrow. So like the whole purpose of this whole boot camp is to get this page created in 3 days. And just don't freak out or anything like that. It's not a huge thing. We're going to be here to support you. But yeah, guys, we've got to just create 9 sections. We're going to be using a lot of AI tomorrow to help you generate a lot of this copy. So you've got super persuasive messaging. It's going to be really exciting. But guys, this is easy and we're going to show you the way.
Yeah, it's simple. It's not necessarily easy, but it's simple when you have a system. If we don't have our own offer, can we write one for someone else? Yes.
And we've got to do the work.
Yeah, and you got to do the work, right? This is the thing, like people think marketing is easy, maybe. It's not. Like to create a system that generates you predictable, consistent customers on autopilot profitably is really bloody hard, and that's why most businesses fail. So don't be hard on yourself when this feels hard. One of our values at PX is the obstacle is the way. So it's kind of like we're a little anime character, right? When something feels hard, we smile because we know everybody else is going to give up. That's great. Like that's fine. We're going to power through and keep going. How many days do you usually spend making these pages from research to design? Our goal is when we get a client come on board is that we are live within 3 to 4 weeks from the kickoff call. So we're not just doing the pages, we're doing like a whole lead generation and funnel system. I personally can do a page in, if I let the copy marinate for a day, like I would say in about 2 to 3 days. Matt, what do you reckon to get a page
Yeah, I mean, in
running?
terms of like
That's why we're doing
pages,
this over 3 days,
we
because one day wasn't enough.
if you know your business, you can create it in 3 days. If you don't know your business or you're working with clients and things like that, you need to have a kickoff call with the client. You need to sell your ideas to clients. It takes a little bit longer. You now need to get across the brand guidelines. But if you know your stuff, you know about your audience, your business, your value proposition, then yeah, it can be extremely fast. And judging by everyone's responses, they know a lot about their target market. So yeah, it should be easy for us to create in 3 days.
Yep, Greg, we do a done for you service. That's our main vibe. And then just when we feel like nerding out, then we get into these free workshops because this is the most fun that we have. We like having bigger impact. And finally, team, it is the offer. Change your offer, change your business. Every time that nothing in our marketing works, it's because we did a shit offer, right? And every single giant behemoth, amazing big company, it was built on the back of a strong offer. Every single one. Domino's, get your pizza in under 30 minutes or it's free. HelloFresh, any of those mattress brands, it doesn't matter if it's a product or it's a service, it's built on the back of a strong offer. Even if the brand has a weaker offer, that can sometimes happen when you see these big guys. But if you think about this, if you're trying to go into a market for your clients or for your own business, and you have this awful, boring, nobody cares offer, how can you expect to dominate?